Hello, this is Drake Oakey, Athletic Director at Memphis Community Schools, and welcome to another great edition of our Memphis Sting Report. Wanted to do a conclusion of all our winter sports. We had a fantastic, exciting, and really good winter sports season from all our programs, and I thought we could have an opportunity to sit down and chat and explain just how well our athletes did here at Memphis Community Schools. First off, I'd like to talk about wrestling. Now, our wrestling program has been led by our head coach, Mr. Mark Pringle, for the last 29 years. Mr. Pringle is in our Hall of Fame as coach for our Memphis wrestling program, and he's continued some tremendous success, including this year, where we won our 9th district title. Our boys every year are competitive in our league and also in our wrestling that we have at our school for our competition that we have once a year, as well as all the other events that we travel to and have been competing very well for this not only this year, but in the last 29 years under Mark Pringle. The success that Mark has brought to the wrestling program is very simple. Our kids compete at the highest level, not only athletically, but they also achieve great things academically, which we're very proud of at Memphis, and that we have somebody like Mark Pringle leading our wrestling program. We were also able to host our Yellow Jacket meet in January, where we have schools not only from the area, but as far away as Livonia come and compete in our wrestling meet. It's a fantastic way to spend a Saturday. Family and friends all alike come to support our Memphis Yellow Jacket wrestlers, but also the all fantastic work the boosters do, the wrestling parents, and of course our wrestling team. Now, after that, we were also very, very privileged to be able to host a state district team district at our school this year, in which for the 9th year in a row, our Memphis Yellow Jackets won the title. It was an emotional night. It was an exciting night where we had one of our younger wrestlers. They call it a pin to win meet, where he had to pin the other opposing player for us to win the meet. Even if he had won and beat him in points, we would not have won the district. But in a pin to win, and in one of the most exciting moments here at Memphis, we were able to secure another district championship and move on to the regionals as a team. The other success we had with our wrestling program is we had 9 different wrestlers from our small school, 9 wrestlers compete in the individual districts that following Saturday, and 9 were able to secure a spot in the regional. So we had 9 of our wrestlers perform in the top 4 of their district and move on to regionals. Out of those 9, we had 4 that were able to go down to Ford Field and partake in the state championships 2 weeks later. So for a small school such as ours to have not only 1, but to have 9 move on to regional and 4 move on to states is a tremendous accomplishment. Now, a lot of people say, how did that accomplishment happen? Is it just maybe Memphis had just had a good year? Well, this is something that's been happening for over 20 years under the guidance of Mark Pringle. And the fantastic thing about it is, like all programs need to do, Mr. Pringle never took a break from wrestling and immediately started his youth program, which he had over 40 to 45 kids, 3 days a week showing up to wrestle free of charge at our high school, where Mr. Pringle brings them over from the elementary after school, and for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, trains these 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders and 6th graders to get them prepared for the junior high team, and then as well as obviously as the high school. So this hard work takes more than just a great year. This hard work has been consistent in Mr. Pringle's program and our wrestling program here at Memphis for so many years, and we're grateful not only for our wrestling program, for what Mr. Pringle does. But again, it starts with the parents supporting the programs, bringing the kids to the camp, Mr. Pringle supplying the camp. After 4 months of coaching a varsity program, he then jumps right into working with our youth for the next 2 months. So our wrestling program, congratulations, we're so proud of you. And not only did they excel so well on the mats, they did a fantastic job in the academic part of it with all our kids passing and moving on with the MSSA requirements. So again, congratulations, and we're so proud of our wrestling program. Now, I will be back at the next segment. We are going to talk about our fantastic cheerleading program, our basketball programs, and our bowling teams. Thank you. Welcome back to the Memphis Sting Report. Well, obviously we're very proud of our wrestling program. Now I'd like to talk about another program that had tremendous success historically as well as this year, and that's our cheerleading program. Our cheerleaders this year was led by many of these seniors that have been in the program since they were in junior high. So for 6-7 years of their high school career, these girls worked out pretty much all year. They're one of the few teams that practice throughout almost the whole year. They even do tryouts in the summer, for a team for the fall, and then of course for the competitive season in the winter months. They also do double duty, that they do the competitive cheer in the winter months. Then they also cheer for the boys basketball teams that play at home and sometimes away. And they have done a great job not only athletically, but they've done a great job academically, where some of our highest GPA scores are in our cheerleading program. And we're very proud of them for that. Our cheerleaders this year were able to compete in the Gtc League Championship. Now the unique thing about this is there were several ADs that we had got together last year and put together a league for the cheerleaders, because every other program in our schools have a league. And we felt it wasn't fair that the cheerleaders didn't have something to compete for a league championship. That they were always more supportive of other teams, number one, and then two, they had their competitive cheer, which took them away from the schools. So the GTC, we started a league championship, and back last year in 18 and 19, our team, the girls cheerleaders, won the first ever league championship at Cape Back, and it was an exciting time. And everybody thought, wow, this is fantastic. Well, the great thing about it is we held it again this year, and they were able to compete. And one of the meets, again, was at Memphis. So as you can see at Memphis, we're always hosting league meets and district meets and stuff like that. And in front of a capacity crowd, our girls outperformed everybody in a fantastic cheering meet. And our girls not only won at Memphis, but they also were, again, defending champion, and they also won the league championship again the following weekend at Cape Back. So for 2 years in a row, our girls were league champions, and congratulations on that. Now, to go with that came the district championship. Now, our girls in all the competitive cheers that they had cheered in this year were always finishing in the top 2 or better, and we're so proud of them. They got more trophies this year than any other program, and we're happy for them with that. But then they took it to the next level, and in the district championships, they qualified again for the second year in a row down to the regionals. And what an exciting meet that was at Vassar this year, to see our girls compete and perform so well at the district championship that they were able to move up into the regional championships. Now the following week in the regional championships, only 4 teams were able to go on to state, and they lost the 4th spot by just a hair. The technical stuff in cheerleading, I can't even understand sometimes, but it wasn't that they even lost, it's just that a couple of the teams that were very well deserving just did a thing or two that actually outpointed them, and they were able to move on, those 4 teams, but our cheerleaders unfortunately were not able to move on to state tournament. But with that being said, our girls did a fantastic job of not only cheering on football and then basketball, they did a fantastic job of representing us on their own individual competitive cheers, and they're also league. And they're going into next year, they are 2-time defending champion of the GTC, and we are so proud of you girls. Congratulations. As I said earlier, our girls also performed so well scholastically, as a lot of our girls are in the high 3.0s GPA. We even had a 4.0 GPA student. So congratulations, girls, and Coach Kelly Clark, who once again has led by an example of as a teacher, but also as a coach. The great thing about our cheerleading is we also have a junior high program, and they were very successful, and the future is so bright because they went to their competitions, and they're predominantly a 7th grade team, and they competed this year, and they finished in the top 3 of all their tournaments. So they did a great job in their competitive cheer, and the future's bright. The commitment's there. We have new coaches, and we're just excited for Leah Welch as our new junior high coach. And we couldn't be more excited with the direction that she's taken and with the assistance and the mentoring of Kelly Clark. So to our cheerleaders, great job. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the tremendous support you give all our other programs. And congratulations as well to your fantastic season. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to go over our bowling program as well as our boys basketball program. We'll see you in a few. Thank you. We had our boys and girls bowling this year. We had very young teams, and they have traditionally always done very well, had an opportunity in some cases to go for state championship. This year was definitely more of a rebuilding year because they are so young. But our boys and girls programs continually improve every single week. If you ever had a chance to go watch them at Strikers, they bowl weekly against all the local area schools, compete every week. They do a fantastic job. But again, being so young, we really weren't sure what to expect when they got to regionals. And again, our boys and girls teams together and separately did not in any way disappoint. Their boys and girls went to Flint, and we were able to go watch them bowl there. And they competed and had a shot, both teams did, to move on to the state tournament. Unfortunately, towards the end, they just got outpointed by a few other teams, but our girls and our boys team were both right there, being very successful, and the excitement was phenomenal as they had an opportunity to move on until the last game, and they were unfortunately taken over by too many pins by some of the other programs. But with the future, with so many young bowlers, the future is bright, and we are so excited for the young Yellow Jacket bowling teams, boys and girls, in the future. Next, I'd like to talk about our boys basketball program. Now, our boys basketball program this year, if you had an opportunity to see any of our teams play, from the varsity to JV, to junior high, to even down to our 5th and 6th grade team, it was very exciting. Unfortunately, our boys varsity program, their season kind of ended abruptly with what we're all dealing with right now. And last week, our boys varsity beat Brown City in the district semifinal at Sandusky, and they won a 3-overtime thriller, 59-57. It was a fantastic game, as you can imagine any 3-overtime game would be. But the boys basketball program this year really, I think, turned a corner as not only in success on the court, but also in the fan appeal. Our student section was absolutely phenomenal. Our boosters were promoting. We had a freshman sponsors that did some really unique things for our home games that got the crowd revved up. And fortunately, the boys varsity were able to not only impress them, but excite the crowd with some fantastic play. Our boys had a winning record for the first time in many, many years. Obviously, they achieved some greatness on the floor in getting to a semifinal, winning the semifinal, and getting to the district championship, which I'm not sure at this time if they're going to be able to compete. With the coronavirus situation, we're just not sure what's going to happen with the MSSA and the rulings. And obviously, we hope that we can get an opportunity to go out and represent Memphis some more. But obviously, at this time, we don't know. It's just as simple as it can be. But in regards to the season that the boys varsity had, we couldn't be happier. Our boys JV program, we had first-year coach Dwayne Kidd come in and work with us, and we couldn't have been happier. To have not only one but 2 teams in your high school with winning records shows that the program has really made a great turn, and that we're looking for an exciting moment here in the near future, as well as what we just had this year. Our boys JV, we had a 15-5 record. They performed very well at all the different venues that we played at, including home. We had some exciting moments. We have a young team that's still coming up. Yes, we have some really nice sophomores that are going to be able to help our program next year and continue hopefully in the winning ways. And we're real excited with the great job that our JV program did this year, led by head coach Dwayne Kidd, and working with the younger athletes. We're very excited. The future is very bright. We also were very fortunate at Memphis that we had a 7th and 8th grade program of the whole new coaching staff. And sometimes that's difficult. You're not quite sure if everyone's going to mesh. But we had an 8th grade coach come in, and it was unfortunately an emergency situation because we had some changes that were made, and our 8th grade coach, Norm, came in, and by the end of the year, our team was one of the toughest teams to beat in 8th grade. They got their first victory in our last game that they played here at Memphis. They actually had a game canceled after that, which was because of the weather more than anything. But our 8th grade did a great job, and our 7th grade program. 7th grade, oh my God, they just continue to improve throughout the year. They've got great numbers. Our coaches work so hard with them, and the future's bright. We're excited for them as 8th graders next year, but we're excited for the future as a whole for Memphis basketball. And then last but not least, our 5th and 6th graders. Now, most times people don't talk about it, but we did host another 5th and 6th grade youth tournament, and I think it was postponed because of the weather. We actually were able to host it at the end of February, where teams from Port Huron and Richmond and the whole surrounding area are able to come in and compete. And what an exciting day of basketball by all teams. But our our sixth grade team was very competitive. They lost a game in overtime to a team that had beaten them previously, and the future showed even brighter with all the hard work that those coaches had done. And what a great job. Adam Walsh had been coached there with our band director, Josh Esch, and the sixth grade did a fantastic job, improved greatly just in over a year. So the seventh grade coach next year and the junior high is going to be excited to have them coming in. And then our fifth grade, which we were having a hard time at one point to even get enough kids to play, were led, and my God, they won their very last game they played this year. They ended up winning. So the program is really on the upswing, and we're so excited for the future. We're excited what took place this year. We're hoping we get another chance to play at the varsity level, but the lower levels definitely were fantastic, and it was definitely one big happy family as athletes from both always went to watch and support each other. And Dace Roberts was our head coach in our fifth grade, and we couldn't thank her and her staff enough because of all the hard work they did on getting their program ready. Thanks to the help with Adam Walsh, who was coaching sixth grade, and of course our old Gino Letard, who helped out with everything. So again, what a great day it was, what a great season it was for boys basketball. We hope it hasn't ended, but even if it did, it definitely didn't leave us without excitement and excitement for the future as well. So the best thing about it, if you saw the latest Sting report, we had 4 athletes with over 3.9 on our boys basketball program to go. With all the success with cheerleading, you'll see that Memphis Athletics are not only leading on the floor but in the fields, but they're also leading in the classroom, and we're proud most about that. So I'll be back in a few minutes to discuss some other things that are transpiring in Memphis sports. I'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. Obviously, you can see the excitement that we've had here at Memphis over the winter sports. We thank all the athletes. We thank administration. We thank the teachers for all your hard work working with our kids. We thank the front office. We thank our coaches, our players, our parents and support. So thank you to everyone, the boosters, for all your great help. Any and all sponsors that have made Memphis sports, winter sports this past year so exciting. And we look forward to having more great winter sports seasons down the road. And now I'd like to talk about our spring sports season. Now our spring sports season, all our coaches were excited. There was a lot of preseason warm-up and working out and weight room and all the hard work that comes with all their different programs, from track, boys and girls track, to our boys baseball, our girls softball, girls soccer. And there was so much preparation, so much work, like all the other schools. And getting so close to the fact that we finally had our first official practices on March 9th. Our teams were getting ready. I know there's no one more disappointed than our spring athletes right now. This is the first March I can ever remember that our baseball fields, our softball fields, because of the weather, are ready to be played on. I think we even practiced baseball last week on our baseball field, and of course our track athletes outside. But unfortunately, as you're all aware, because of Corona, at this time the MSSA has basically stopped everything, suspended everything. We're not able to practice, we're not able to work out, we're not able to do anything as a school, as a team. So everything will be predominantly individually, through this terrible time. And hopefully that it will be completed. We'll win the war in this battle, and our spring athletes can, resume their season, resume practicing, and hopefully get some games in this year. At Memphis, we will comply with whatever the MSSA states, and unfortunately, there's nothing we can do as a school district or as coaches to work out with our kids. But I want you to know that Memphis sports and all our athletes and everybody involved with that is dear to our heart. We wish you all a blessed and safe time through this terrible time. And we thank you for all your support. We look forward to seeing you in the near future. And again, thank you for coming to another edition of our Memphis Sting Report.